let's say she has one kid or, maybe even two, and let's say she was married to some guy for like 20 years or whatever, you understand what I'm saying? And then they got divorced. And that's one thing versus like if you meet a woman and you see she got 4 or 5 kids from, a whole bunch of different baby daddies and all of that. And then also, that's it's sort of showing like the irresponsibility in that situation. You see what I'm saying? So it all depends on the specific situation and also the character of that woman, because I don't think, just because a woman is a single parent doesn't necessarily mean that she wouldn't be a good woman to date, but you still have to sort of see like what's really going on in the situation to make the best, decision for yourself if you're trying to, deal with this woman. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, though, if you're dealing with a woman who does have kids, you don't want it to be where you're bending over backwards and doing all this other craziness, which you shouldn't be doing for any woman anyway. But especially for a woman who has kids, because I get guys who email me all the time, and they're like, "Yo, I'm talking to this lady. She's giving me the runaround. She's being flaky and this and this and that." And then I hear that she got like 2 kids, and I'm like, "Wait a second, like you're going through all of this for this lady who already got, she's like a single mom, like." That she should be giving you 1,000% cooperation. You know what I'm saying? Because you could go out here and just get some young chick who don't got no kids and then, do what it do. So, a chick who has kids, she should be on top of her game heavy. And if she's not, then, you don't really need to deal with it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. And so it doesn't matter. Does it matter how many kids they have, the person has?
I mean, it does matter to an extent, because the more kids that she has, the more it's going to be an issue to even deal with her generally. Because if she has a lot of kids and you're trying to really have a relationship with her, or deal with her, she got to tend to her kids. So it's like it's not going to be a situation where you could really make something happen in a lot of cases. And on top of that, to a certain extent, you might have to deal with her kids in a certain way if you are seeing her long term. You know what I'm saying? So, depending on how much he has, it's gonna make a big deal. But depending on the guy and, depending on who you are and what you're looking for, you know what I'm saying? That also depends also, because for some guys, it might not be an issue because they might have kids or whatever also, and they're like, whatever, it don't make a difference to me. But then for some guys, depending on what they're trying to do specifically in their life or what type of lifestyle they're trying to, live, it's going to make a big difference. So it all depends on, the dude and what he's really trying to do.
And how should the man deal with the father of the children?
See, that's the thing.
The father's still in their lives.
And that's the thing, and that's what I'm saying. That's another part of the situation, because I would say if you're dealing with a woman who has kids, and let's say, the baby father's in the life, and he's like on some other crazy shit, like on some drama stuff, then you don't need to deal with that woman, because the thing is, anything, like if you're dealing with her, you're dealing with her kids and the baby father. So it's like you gotta understand that all that comes along with dealing with that. You feel what I'm saying? But let's say if she has one kid and the baby father's cool, he's just a regular dude, and it's just that him and the girl divorced or whatever, and they just broke up, then it ain't really that big of a deal. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying, it all depends on the situation and the people within that situation, because that is going to vary depending on, how that woman is, how her kids is, how the baby father is, and also your situation and what you're trying to do. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Now, how do you know when you're officially in a monogamous affair or in an exclusive relationship? Does it have to be verbal? Does it have to just be intuitive? How would it typically go official?
Oh no, it has to be something verbal. Like it has to be a discussion. You know what I mean? Like you can't ever assume that this goes for men or women. It's like you can't assume that the person you're dating is just with you, or that you and this person is just together now. It has to be a conversation, because if there's no conversation had, there's no talk about that, then everything is still sort of all up in the air. You know what I mean? Because one person's going to think it's this, the other person's going to think it's that. So everybody has to be on the same page and say, hey, you know, we're going to be exclusive, and you both agree to that, and then that's how it goes. You know what I mean? So that's how the monogamous relationship starts. Before that, you're just dating a person, and the person could be, you know, dating other people at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so you're saying there's never a scenario where the couple is going through like a gradual transition, and then they're doing different things with each other that kind of put them up on that higher level. They're kind of doing things different than what they were doing with each other months back, maybe like, you know, doing certain things for each other, maybe even moving in and doing all these different things, and you will still be at the situation of, well, since we haven't had that discussion, we're still safe to play the field with one another, with other people.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There always got to be the discussion, because no, I don't think any couple or people who are dating, you know, they're not going to move in with each other before they're boyfriend and girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're dating somebody and you never had that discussion that y'all are together, most people aren't going to do something like moving or whatever. So the thing is, even if you guys are, let's say you're doing, like, let's say you're seeing each other more than usual, you went from seeing each other maybe once a week to like twice a week now, and then y'all seeing each other a few more times, until you had the discussion, it's still not a monogamous relationship, because that guy in the relationship or that woman in the relationship could also be seeing somebody else, but they're not necessarily telling you. You know what I'm saying? So then now you're thinking it's just you and that person, but they have somebody on the side that they also seeing when they're not dealing with you. So again, it still has to be that conversation, because until that conversation is had, that person could still be seeing the other person. You know what I mean? And then that other person they're seeing might have the conversation with them and say, yo, I want to be with you exclusively. They're going to hit you up and be like, well, we can't see each other anymore because I've been messing with this other person. You feel what I'm saying? So there always has to be a discussion before, you know, anything else occurs in the situation. You see what I mean?
Yeah, and so let's just say if the guy is spending money on the female, he's paying her bills, paying her rent. You know, even guys that cheat on their wives, you know, pay for their mistress.
Right. Yeah, a lot of dudes do that stuff. They shouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, to that extent where, you know, if they're just dating a chick, they shouldn't be doing too much of that. You know, up front, and until the girl becomes your girlfriend, you shouldn't be doing those type of things. You know what I'm saying? Until a girl becomes your girl, then she doesn't get the girlfriend treatment, because doing all that other extra stuff is giving a woman the girlfriend treatment. But you shouldn't be doing that if she's not your girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could do regular, you know, cool stuff or whatever here and there, but it's like if you know, helping her out with this and then you're doing all of that, she should also be reciprocating, doing other things for you too. So it has to be at that level of the relationship where that's going on, versus you guys just dating and chilling. You shouldn't be doing all that extra stuff for her if y'all just dating and chilling. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. So stay right there. Hold on for a moment. I'm going to take a quick station break, service announcement. Be right back. And I have a caller. It'll be just a moment. Racism doesn't exist and never existed. Let's take a listen.
Our issue is not about racism. There's no such thing as racism.
Higher entity. Now, he's not going to go over it because he's working for most of them.